All right, we're live.
Yeah, we're live again.
Hey, everybody.
All right. This deserves.
Hey, anybody that might randomly show up now? You're
Yeah,
going to a rally cap now, trying to
I,
rally some more viewers back in.
I gotta go hat
Jesus.
backwards on this one.
Yeah,
We're
so we had
never
a bit of an
inviting. We're,
issue.
we're never inviting Donald back on the show. That's for sure. Whatever. The first one I wanted to talk about. I wanted to kick this. Mark, I think his name was Mark, posting
It's all
posting
gone, man. It's all
posting the
gone.
whole Jake Garcia thing about how Jake looked comfortable. Okay, let's just say that he did look comfortable. It doesn't mean he looked better. He did not look better. He looked just the same. He went 10 of 19 for like a buck 69 or a buck 83, something like that. Okay. He had two really solid throws, a couple other decent throws, whatever. But he didn't look better. So what is it? Why are we all like, and somebody else on Instagram was also like, this is such a dumb idea to start TVD. Gaddis and Cristobal are doing a poor job, and yada yada yada. Such a bad idea to start him over Jake Garcia. And I just don't understand why everybody is so. I understand that the quarterback is the most popular guy on the football team, right? That old cliche, that old saying. But the fact of the matter is that he didn't look better when he came in, right? He got that nice little spark on that first drive, and that was nice. But that was it. After that, it was kind of the same thing. As a matter of fact, he made some bad throws as well, right? Some into coverage that almost got picked off. So, I mean, the whole notion of Jake Garcia is the better quarterback and you got to give him a shot. I think at this point, like, people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, what goes on in the background, and how these guys practice. And to be quite honest with you, the TVD is looking like the guy. He looks 10 times better than all the other quarterbacks when he practices. Okay. This is not to say, all right, and I'm not sitting here saying, okay, I'm not sitting here saying that Tyler Van Dyke looks good. He doesn't, right? He looks bad. He looks like he's struggling. Okay. And he has his issues, whether it's mental, whatever the case is, that he's going through something that he needs to figure out. He needs to get together. Is he gonna be on a long leash? No, I know Vish. You mentioned he will be on a longer leash than people I think anticipate that he will be. I think he will be. I think Cristobal has the confidence in him. He's gonna stick with him. That's his guy. But at the same time, like, he knows that he's playing bad. He knows he's not playing up to his potential. And for people to be like, he's cracking under pressure. Like, where are these just words and sayings that we're saying because it's like, it's cliche to say these things. He's cracking under pressure and he's not. How is he cracking under pressure? This is what I want to know. Because last year he never cracked under pressure. If anything, he thrived under it. Okay. So this whole notion that he's cracking under pressure is another thing that's, it's, again, it's just thrown around like it's a lazy argument, is what I'm trying to say. It's lazy to say these cliches. Oh, he's cracking under pressure. He doesn't got what it, doesn't have what it takes. Whatever, all these things that we like to say about it. That people that fans are saying out there. I think that we need to kind of take a step back and realize that we're 4 games into this regime. Okay. And it takes some time for people to gel, for people to get, to start playing together as a team and to start understanding everybody's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Tendencies, right? Tendencies and how they play, and kind of get that cohesion, that chemistry. It doesn't happen overnight, guys. Tyler Van Dyke is struggling. Hopefully he puts it together. I don't know what you guys want to say on
Yeah,
that.
well, I think the thing with Garcia is, I think that story got written in terms of, oh, he was great and Van Dyke was terrible off of both of their first 2 passes. Van
Yeah,
Dyke threw 2
right.
picks. One was a pick six, and Garcia completed his first 2. One was beat down the field and led to a touchdown. And they're like, wow, this is way different. And then the whole rest of the game was not. And I think the overall thing, and I still stand by this, is it is very important that you do not put people in to positions to start, in particular quarterback, just because the starter is underperforming. They got to go earn that job. It's going
Absolutely.
to make them a better quarterback down the road. Frankly, like, obviously I want to win on Saturday. I want to win these next 8 games, right? Obviously. But throwing a quarterback out there that did not earn that job is going to make him worse next year and the year after that. Like, I want Garcia to be elite when he steps out there and leads this team. He's got that ability. Saying the starter's struggling, go do it now when he's not ready yet or he's not outplaying him in practice, sets the wrong tone for the entire team. Not to mention, it's telling all of your seniors, juniors, and seniors that, hey, if the season goes kind of off the rails, we're just going to bench you and put in freshmen because what the hell, who cares about this, right? So I think regardless of, Van Dyke's struggles, like you said, he's struggling. Garcia, to start, should really earn the job in practice every day. And then, he got a chance to play, and it was better initially, but then it settled back into the same kind of basically the exact same thing, complete with driving inside the 5-yard line and failing on 4th down, forcing the ball to Will Mallory. Like, they both did the exact same thing. It was just like a mirror image. So to me, the best thing for Garcia's future, if you really like this guy is the guy, he's going to lead this program forward, then you need to let him earn the job. Who said he was right? Okay, so we're getting these comments in here.
He's not ready, or he is ready. I'm
no, he's saying he's ready because he was right there with TVD when he got injured. At which point TVD started every game.
Ready.
No, he's being sarcastic. He's saying he's responding to me saying he's not ready to be the starter yet by saying like get out of here with that comment.
That he's not
ready. He's saying he is ready because they were neck and neck last year before either of them had played, which kind of proves my point because after that TVD kind of logged a lot of playing time.
Here's the thing.
They both played against Central Connecticut or whatever that direction was we played last year. And then TVD took the job and ran with it.
Jake Garcia is not a bad quarterback. He's actually very good. He's very good. Okay? If you throw him in now, you got to understand something. There are things that Jake Garcia does, okay, that are going to make you want to throw him over a boat. Right? There's certain things that he does that TVD does not do. This is why TVD is a starting quarterback right now. This is why he outplayed him, okay, in practice. Whether they were neck and neck or not, TVD still got the job, and you saw why he was the quarterback last year. Now, yes, he is struggling this year, okay? He does need to earn the job. He has not earned the job because TVD is outplaying him in practice. And then when he does come in, he looked better initially, He reverted back to, he wasn't better. He was the same, if not, I don't want to say worse because obviously TVD threw the picks or whatever, but he wasn't better. He didn't spark this offense like we thought he would. He had that initial spark, okay, on that first drive, but then they reverted back to the same offense before. And that's not a knock on him. There are things that he does that are really awesome, right? Like he's got a strong arm, but he takes a little bit more risks. He may crack under some pressure situations. We don't know, obviously, because we haven't seen him play that much in bigger games. However, right now, TVD is a starting quarterback. He is a better quarterback, and he shows that he's earned it in practice. And that's what we're saying, okay? We're not saying that Jake Garcia cannot come in and be successful. He probably could be, okay? But there's going to be things. You're going to go through a lot more growing pains with Jake Garcia as your starting quarterback right now than you would with TVD. And that's not saying that he's going to be worse or that he's going to look bad, because he's probably going to do some really, really nice things, okay? But he's also going to do some things that are going to make you scratch your head. And I understand everybody's going to say, well, TVD's doing that now. Yes, he's struggling a little bit now, okay? But that doesn't mean that you get rid of your guy. You got to understand, this is not just about one player, people. This is about a culture. This is about a team. This is about a football program. And if you're going to start doing the same things that led us to be in this situation that we are now, then what is the point? And that's what I'm trying to get at. DJ, you got any words on that?
Well, it's also about the fact that Tyler Van Dyke's a little bit of a veteran, excuse me, so to speak. I know veterans not really used in college football terms, but he knows how to overcome adversity and kind of not work through things better, but he knows, the fast-paced college football bump in the road and how to deal with it. Jake Garcia doesn't necessarily know how to deal with it in season yet, so I think that's a component that should be mentioned there too. I mean, honestly, Jake Garcia could very well be, the future of the Miami Hurricanes quarterback position.
I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be.
Absolutely. But right now, you got to go with Tyler Van Dyke. You got to go with the guy that's, had success last year, and, especially as you're going into ACC play, because I can almost guarantee you the same people that are calling for Jake Garcia to start on Saturday against UNC would rip him apart if he started to fail against UNC, and then you're back to square one again. So, which one is it?
Well, please get
Yeah.
this one.
I just want to kind of close this conversation out, because I want to talk about how our defense stinks. We're playing in a good offense this week, which is probably going to be a bigger problem than our offense, to be honest. But so I see I'm reading all these comments, and frankly, I think there's a complete disconnect with how Garcia actually played and how it was perceived. He did not do enough to earn that job last week. What are we talking about?
Absolutely not.
Like, he was 10-19. He made a ton of mistakes too. And so, and this is exactly the way that you lose a program, right? You have to have people earn playing time. Van Dyke earned it all of last year and through all of spring practice and through all of summer practice and week in, week out. And no, he's not playing well right now. But you just throw the backup in there because what the hell? That is not the way to build a program. I'm sorry. That's the type of stuff we've been doing for 20 years.
To start off ACC play?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Absolutely
we
not.
did it all the way back to Kirby Freeman and Kyle Wright. We've been doing the same thing. The starter struggles a little bit, yank him out, put the other one in. We've been doing this for 15 years. We signed up for something different. We're getting something different. We're getting stability. He's sticking with him because that's the right thing to do for the program and because he's earned it in practice. Now, if Garcia came in and went like 20 of 20 and lit it up and threw 5 touchdowns, only an idiot wouldn't say, okay, he's earned it.
Right.
It was not that good of a performance. It was slightly better than Van Dyke was in that game, largely based off of just the first 2 passes. So for both of them, because Van Dyke they both threw, I guess they both hit people in stride. Unfortunately, Van Dyke hit the other team. So no, you actually assess the play on the field and don't just go, the backup must be better, so we got to try something. That's what we're suggesting we do. And the play on the field from Garcia has not been that great either.
What's to say Jake Garcia doesn't lose and struggle if you make him the starting quarterback? Then are you going to complain about Jake Garcia and yell for Tyler Van Dyke?
Right, and I think that's where I have a problem here is you just saying the starter is not playing well, therefore the backup must be better. We got to try something. That's not how you build a program. Let him outplay TBD in practice and earn that job.
Yeah,
then,
I think
then
a lot.
You can start him, and then everyone can respect that decision. If you're just being like, that guy's struggling, like, what are you going to do? Every time a receiver drops a pass, bench him for the rest of the game? You're going to have no one left on the field. Like, you cannot operate that way. You can't have people afraid of getting pulled for poor play. You got to have other people come and earn it, right? When we talk about when this program was great, it was like, I knew I had to be on it in practice because the guy behind me was awesome too, and he was going to take my spot. You can't have that. This is actually that in reverse. I'm just going to chill on the bench, wait for this other guy to screw up, and then I'm the starter, right? That's not.
And that's the mentality we've had for 20 years, right?
And I do understand what Mark is saying. Like, he was bad. TBD was bad.
He was. We're not saying he wasn't.
Yeah, he was bad. Yeah. So I get it when you're like, you cannot keep playing like that. I agree. You cannot keep playing like that. But if you want to, obviously he needs to play better. But the idea that we just put the other guy in, that's where I have a problem. Let him work through it. We're not at the kill switch yet, in my opinion. Not even, especially if he's practicing better. Because the players are seeing that week in, week out. They're watching him practice. They're seeing one guy play better than the other one. And then you see the other guy start. That's just bad. It's bad for your culture.
Okay. Let's
talk about how the defense sucks.
Yeah, let's end it there.
What are we going to do defensively, by the way?
We can talk all night. We can talk all night about this. The defense is going to be interesting to see because you got a lot of guys, like, and we mentioned it earlier in the earlier show, how we're down. It looks like potentially we could be down a tight end, right? So now you're talking about an underachieving Will Mallory, okay, and you're talking about a freshman Jaleel Skinner. Love Jaleel Skinner. I think that he's going to be really, really good, and he's shown some flashes. So you're probably going to see a lot of him on Saturday. However, again, I was talking about offense. On defense, you saw some lack of effort plays, and that's the biggest issue that I had. I don't know if it necessarily means if we were necessarily like if we were bad. Well, we were bad. We played bad. But I don't think it was a lack of talent, right? Obviously, we're the more talented team than Middle Tennessee. the thing for me was the lack of effort that you saw, and you saw that revert back to what they were doing last year and the previous years, and that's the type of culture that Mario's trying to get rid of here. So the issue I have is with the lack of effort. Someone mentioned James Williams, who was struggling, looked like he was getting run over. I know Donald mentioned that. Yeah, he was, because he wasn't playing with effort, right? You saw that. You saw guys like DJ Ivy kind of revert back to the old DJ Ivy, not the Texas A&M DJ Ivy. So what the hell happened there? You saw us in a cover zero, okay, in the end zone. And what is a cover zero meant to do? Not let anybody get behind you. And that's exactly what happened. 99-yard touchdown. So like this is a lack of concentration. This is a lack of execution. I don't think it's a lack of talent, but you saw guys that they were running after players at a half. It looked like they were just quicker than us, more motivated than us to play this game, right? And then you hear some of the comments from after the game saying, we weren't prepared to play this game. We were looking past them per se, or what, all these stupid comments that these players were saying. That sounds like, previous regime comments and culture. So my thing is about effort more than anything, Vish. I know we have the players. I know that we're pretty damn good on defense. Okay. I think that it just needs to show an effort and execution. I know you probably think different, but we brought it. It's not the same defense as last year, because we brought in 12 new freaking defensive linemen. Okay, we brought in new linebackers, so it's a lack of effort for me, and that's concerning. I
think it's Middle Tennessee that was certainly part of it. I don't think we, to your point, came ready to play. I think Mario hit the nail on the head. Those 3 turnovers, actually in the first 3 possessions, and everyone just checked out, and it's kind of embarrassing. Like we never got it going after that. But I mean, I'm watching Texas A&M's offense. And that's the only time our defense has looked good. And I have a sneaking suspicion our defense blows. And we played one of the worst offenses in college football and looked really good on a big stage and kind of drew conclusions. Yeah, they're terrible offensively.
I think you're underrating. I don't think.
So Texas I'm looking at some. Here's my issue. I think if you look at the talent you mentioned, I think our D line has the potential to be really good. DJ Ivy played out of his mind for 1 game in his entire career. Like, why are we concluding that that's DJ Ivy and not the person we've seen the rest of it? Like, the Middle Tennessee DJ Ivy is much closer to what we've experienced for his entire career than what we saw against A&M. And A&M's offense is terrible. A lot of it, I think, was that.
Well, I don't think.
And then the other thing that's happened
I don't think Texas A&M's offense is terrible.
It's one of the worst rated.
They're pretty bad. Football. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, Vish. They're pretty bad. I mean,
they benched that quarterback that they played against us in the middle of the last game because they couldn't move the ball. I don't think they've gotten over 100 yards in the first half this year.
Yeah,
of a game. But anyway, but to kind of taking that off the table, I think the other issue is we got to see where the health is, because by the end of that game, we had a bunch of guys at corner that we would not want to be playing, and not because they're not good, just because they're not ready yet. Like, you want Stevenson and Porter in there and not injured, and then you're playing like Malik Curtis and guys that you might want to get reps in a blowout, but not really ready to take full-time load.
Like, where's Isaiah Dunson? Isaiah Dunson? Is he hurt?
I don't know. Good question. But like we've had a bunch of guys out there. Like, these guys should have been like, we're expecting to see these guys 2 or 3 years from now, not right now.
By the way, Kyle, we're all wondering the same thing, brother. We're all wondering the same.
Well, I mean, except when we put someone else in, they get burned too. It's just kind of like,
yeah. And we're trying. Look, again, I don't want it to seem like we're knocking these players. We're just criticizing, right? Criticizing the play on the field. That's the bottom line.
I think they can play better. So I think they can play better. I do think there is a better defense in there, but I also think we're probably closer to what we saw against Southern Miss than what we saw against Middle Tennessee or against A&M, which is, we're okay. We got some issues, especially in pass defense. We struggle to cover, but we're okay and serviceable. Middle Tennessee, to your point, when you add that to no effort, you get blown off the field.
Right.
And then A&M, I think a lot of that was their offense just isn't good. So, but we're probably somewhere, borderline decent defensively, but like now we're playing North Carolina's offense is elite. So this is going to be a problem.
Yeah. I think that
I also don't understand what we're doing at the linebacker position.
Yeah, the linebacker position is
I
true.
don't know why Wayman Steed, like everyone gets on Flag. Like, why is Wayman Steed play?
Flag's
so
not
much?
having a bad year anyway.
No,
He's
and
having
it's
a
just
good year. But again, he's good at what he's good at. It's
right.
not, he has his deficiencies as well. But like not seeing Caleb Johnson on the field enough, not seeing Keontre Smith on the field enough.
Really at all,
Chase,
almost. Yeah, a lot of these
those
guys.
guys.
Fryerson's not playing. Really.
Frierson, we barely saw him against Middle
Yeah,
Tennessee.
and I
Like,
don't
what's going on
know,
there?
and I know Mario talked about Zion had a setback, that's why he didn't play.
Yeah.
I feel like no one will ever admit this. I don't think it was just the players that didn't take that game seriously. That was a good rest guys up after we went on the road at SEC game, give them 2 weeks off to prepare for ACC play game, and then we ended up down.
Then they got kicked
24-3 in the first half, and it's like crap. So I don't think that was just the players that kind of had that attitude. We'll win this game regardless of what we do. So let's kind of prepare to get a good rest week in here, and then got hit in the mouth.
Look, here's another thing I want to kind of mention, and DJ, maybe you can kind of speak on this. The whole notion that we're hurt and we're losing guys left and right, and excuse me, now our running backs are hurt and our offensive line and Zion Nelson and this, that, and the other. Listen, every single team in college football is dealing with it. They're all dealing with injuries, right? We're starting to see, FSU obviously started off really hot. They got knocked around against Wake Forest. They got beat up a lot worse than the score shows. Okay, but they lost a whole bunch of guys as well, right? Now you're seeing Bryce Young got hurt. Everybody is getting hurt. There's injuries everywhere. So the excuse of having injuries, I think, affects others more than some teams more than others, because we got to go to depth on that, right? But the whole notion of well, we're hurt, so that's why we're struggling. No, everybody is hurt. Every team has people that are injured. So you just got to step up. Other players have to step up. And that's why we have to understand that it's going to take a while.
I would say the string of injuries at the same positions. Like we've got 4 scholarship running backs injured.
Yeah.
I don't think most teams are dealing with that. Where you came in with one of the deepest running back pools in college football.
Well, I don't
4
know.
out of the 5 are injured, right? I mean, that's pretty abnormal. The receiver stuff we should be able to play through because George was suspended the first 2 games, and we should be able to get through that. I think the order of losing all the corners one by one in the middle of the last game probably hurt. That was a tough adjustment. But the overall injuries, play through it.
Play through it. That's it. DJ, your thoughts on playing Drake May in that offense for UNC and how the defense responds to it?
I'm kind of worried, to be honest with you. I'm kind of worried for this Miami defense. Just looking at this stat sheet and watching them play, Drake May is absolutely phenomenal. Not only that, but UNC has so many different weapons. They utilize their tight ends, Bryson Nesbitt and Kamari Morales. Kamari Morales has 3 touchdowns on the season. Then their wide receiver, Josh Downs, has 4. There's so many different weapons that the Tar Heels have. They're not really a big running team. They're more of a passing team. But, for me, and I wrote about this earlier today, the pass rush is going to really need to step up for Miami. Because if you give Drake May time, he is going to absolutely tear them apart. So I think if we want to see good secondary play on Saturday, we're going to need to get a good pass rushing pressure on May. And I know I believe it was Flag and Darryl Porter had a sack each against Middle Tennessee State the last time out. That's not going to cut it. Miami's going to need to bring consistent pressure throughout the entire game. And, I'm honestly really, really worried about Drake May against this Miami defense. I don't know if you guys are as worried, but there's just too many weapons for this UNC team for Miami to take it easy.
Well, yeah, I'm a little worried, right? We gave up all those points to Middle Tennessee, and we looked bad, and the effort wasn't there, and you see some of our deficiencies. You guys are probably a little more worried than I am, because I think that, here's the thing, right? The truth is that I have confidence in this coaching staff and Coach Steele and Charlie Strong and all these guys to kind of get it right, to get it together. Plus, They've had 2 weeks. And when you have an elite coaching staff, and I get it, I know a lot of people are not, confident right now in this elite coaching staff, but I think you've got 2 weeks to prepare for a team like this. My biggest concern is not even Drake May's passing. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, right? He's a big dude. He's like Josh Allen-esque, right? Like he's big like that. He can run, right? So my biggest issue is some of our tackling deficiencies that are still showing up here and there. If he breaks contain and he runs, are we going to be able to bring him down on enough of those third and shorts, third and longs, whatever the case is? Those are going to be my biggest question marks. Do we have the guys that can, that can bring him down or that can spy him or whatever? Because he is going to do that. He can run the football a little bit. He knows, obviously, he's got a big arm. He's got some good receivers, so he's going to be able to throw the ball down the field a little bit. My biggest concern is going to be his legs and bringing him down, right? Like you said, DJ, they're going to have to get some solid pass rush, keep him in the pocket, not let him break contain and get outside, and interrupt and disrupt his passing lanes and disrupt his timing, right? In order for us to be able to be successful against them. So yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% concerned because I think that some of our defense, I think they'll be able to get it together, especially with Coach Theo and them.
Yeah, and the other thing is UNC is used to playing high-scoring games, going up and down the field. Their defense isn't good, and if we can just make it, so we can make a few stops. One thing we haven't not done at all the last 2 weeks is force turnovers. We have 1 in the 2 games that we've forced some turnovers, get them a little stuck there. Don't allow them to just score easily. It can throw them off though. When teams are used to playing those shootout games,
right?
And you get a couple of stops and kind of slow them down, even if they're still successful, it does throw them off their rhythm as a team,
right?
And puts a lot of pressure on their defense. So that's where we got to somehow force some turnovers in this game, and then get a couple of stops on top of that, and then it'll like when they played App State, they gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter and still won. Right? I mean, this is a team that's not used to playing kind of grind out games. And frankly, that appears to be our style. So, if we dictate style to them and grind on them, it can throw them off.
If we can figure out our running situation, running back situation, if they're healthy enough and we can hold on to that football, run the ball on them, yeah, that neutralizes their offense as well, right? Of course, we're taking time off the clock, time of possession, and that might be what Josh Gaddis wants to do in this game also, and I totally understand that. You got to get the quarterback going, right? So we've already spoken ad nauseum about getting TVD going. This question is very interesting, what Kyle poses here. Do you bring blitz or sit back and hope your front four can get pressure? No, you bring blitz.
Yeah, you bring the blitz.
If like I said, you have to disrupt his timing. You have to disrupt his passing lanes. You've got to bring blitzes from everywhere. Could our front four possibly get to him? Yeah, I'm not sure how good their offensive line is, to be honest with you. I know Stacey Cyril's. Oh, as a matter of fact, their horse on the offensive line is a former Cane. So it's Corey Gaynor is their starting center. Remember that. So and Stacey Cyril's is their offensive line coach. So a couple Canes, former Canes over there. I know that Corey Gaynor is going to want to play a really good game, but we all know that he's not the greatest center anyway. So we should really kind of look forward to getting after him and that offensive line. But yeah, I think you got to blitz in this game in order to disrupt that offense.
So Stacey Searles actually isn't there anymore.
Oh, he's not. He's not there anymore.
No,
okay.
He went to Georgia. He's Georgia's offensive line coach.
Oh, okay.
Which was funny last week if you're watching them play Missouri and like Blake Baker's defense was going up against Stacey Searles, and I was like, "What ring of hell am I in?" But anyway,
unbelievable how Stacey Searles couldn't be an offensive line coach here, though, right?
No, he only left because when Rick retired.
Yeah,
right? That's when he left. No, he was Rick could actually had enough juice to get some real coaches. He didn't have budget.
Searles is pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, he was a good coach, and if Rick had stayed, he would have stayed, I think.
Yeah, and we saw what he did against us with Javonte Williams and Michael Carter.
Let's not relive that. He saw Manny's defense every day. Probably like, I know what I'm doing. Run right up the middle for 4 million yards. But actually, I would say a little bit. I don't know that I would necessarily blitz. I wonder, like North Carolina gets a lot of chunk plays. If you force them to drive the ball, like to me, you might have more success doing that. To me, it's predicated though on can we even cover? Like, are we going to be, if they're going to get open anyway, then you just got to be aggressive and try to pressure the quarterback. But
that's why you bring the
But
blitz.
if you can force them to complete like 10 7-yard passes to drive the ball, that's a little bit different than what they've been doing.
Right.
So I'm not
That's
necessarily.
what we're crappy, right? Is in chunk plays.
You're right. So to your point, I'm erring kind of on your side of probably going to get these big plays anyway. So let's try to disrupt it at the throw because we're not doing it at the catch.
Right.
But if they think they can actually like force them to execute, essentially force them to play the way we've been doing, which is these long drives where there's zero margin for error because like you're getting 5-6 yards instead of like 12, 15, 20,
Right.
and force them to drive that way. I think they're too good offensively for us to like shut them out or something. So to me, I'm just trying to disrupt their rhythm, get them out of what they're comfortable with. So is that blitzing? Probably, but I could also see an argument for that is just don't let them get chunk plays. Make them just slowly drive, and be perfect.
Right.
So I could see both of those as kind of solutions there.
I really hope that we get to figure out. By the way, so it looks like, as I mentioned earlier, it looks like we may not see Arroyo in this game. He may be dealing with an injury. I'm not 100% sure. I don't like to kind of speculate on that, and since they haven't come out with it, I won't kind of say too much on it. But if that's the
Well,
case,
Cristobal did talk about it, so he did say
Yeah.
he was banged up and questionable, which to me,
yeah,
when the other guys he won't comment on, he says questionable probably means he's not playing. to be
probably.
honest.
Yeah, you're probably right. So you're probably going to see a lot of, again, Jaleel Skinner, and quite frankly, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with seeing Skinner. Right, like we saw that he can play a little bit, man. He's got some good hands. He runs some decent routes. He's big, tall, lanky, kind of guy that can play a wide receiver / tight end position. We just need some guys to block in there. We need Will Mallory to have a decent game. I think it's going to be important. What are your keys to the game, Vish, against North Carolina?
So offensively, it is when there's plays there to be made, you got to make them. That means the throw needs to be there and the ball needs to be caught. And because there's going to be, just like there were against Middle Tennessee, there's going to be 6, 7 huge plays. Well, you just got to execute it. And we've seen the last 2 games we haven't done it, whether it's, against A&M missing, and actually against Middle Tennessee, just missing blocks when we had the bubble screen set up perfectly for a walk-in touchdown. Both those games we missed the blocks. Those against A&M was Parrish dropping the ball when he was wide open. We'd emptied the field out so he could have walked in. Last week, Ladson and Brunson had touchdowns that they should have caught. That kind of, it's not pure drop because there was a defender that was like wide open. But you got to, those are the ones I'm saying. Those are the ones you got to make that catch.
Yep.
Right, you got to make that catch. Like those are the ones that'll get your quarterback confidence. Those are the ones those are touchdowns. So to me, that's it. There's going to be 5, 6, 7 offensive plays that if executed correctly will lead to touchdowns or big chunk plays. We got to hit those. We're doing a very good job of executing the short plays and the running game and picking up those incremental gains. And then we're frankly crapping our pants on the key plays where it's like, all right, we set the whole drive up to hit this throw, and either the throw's inaccurate or the ball gets dropped or someone misses a block, and like you cannot do that. If you capitalize on that, all of a sudden like you have another 15, 20 points on the board than you otherwise would get. All of a sudden the offense looks fine. So to me, that's the key. You cannot, there's no margin for error here. You got to hit all those because North Carolina sure as hell is going to score.
Yep, I agree. DJ, what are your keys to the game here?
Get pressure on Drake May, and offensively, and I don't know if this is possible since we really haven't done it yet, but I would love to see, honestly, the running backs get a little bit more involved in the passing game. Getting the running backs involved could give Tyler Van Dyke confidence, get those quick, easy throws. Like I said, they haven't really been a big feature in the offense, and in a Josh Gaddis-led offense, I'm not really sure he uses the running backs as pass catchers. But beyond that, I just want Tyler Van Dyke to make quick decisions, quick, intelligent decisions. I thought he held on to the ball too long against Middle Tennessee State. I'm sure we all saw it. But, I think he needs to, identify his read, identify correctly his read, and then, just throw the ball. It doesn't have to be 20-yard passes down the field every time. Just keep moving the change. 4 or 5 yards, run the ball. There you have a drive. And, you got to kind of have smart drives, turnover-free drives, and drives that move the chains. So, just getting pressure on May and smart decision-making from Tyler Van Dyke, as well as hoping the running backs get a little bit more involved in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Heasley came real quick, or kind of echo a lot of your sentiments, DJ and Vish, right? Like for me, it's on offense, though. For me, I think the important thing is to get TVD going early. If you get TVD going early, get him a couple short passes, maybe some intermediate stuff. Take some shots down the field. I think that even if he doesn't hit all of them, I think you need to do that, kind of build his confidence up a little bit, get him going quickly and early, and see if he can, if he can jumpstart this offense and score some points. Okay, I think that's the first and foremost the thing on offense that I think we need to do. On defense, I think that just execution, man, and more effort, right? Like you've got to be able to, like you mentioned, DJs, put some pressure on Drake May. Okay, get him to feel uncomfortable. But to stay in the pocket, right? Because when he breaks in 10, you got to be able to tackle him. You got to be able to bring him down. So that's going to be important. Need the passing game to step up. Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I agree with that, Kyle.
So we've lost Jazz.
You good there, Jazz?
He like patted his chest and then away the mic went.
What about now? Am I good?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Like I mentioned, just pressure Drake May, make him maybe, commit some turnovers, right? I think that's important. The defense needs to get some turnovers to kind of get them going and get some confidence in them as well. So just simple, obvious things, but not so obvious. Get TVD going, and on the other side is make sure that Drake May doesn't get going that much. Try to contain him as much as possible. So those are
the obvious things we haven't been doing, right?
Right. The obvious things,
don't give up big plays, force some turnovers, pitch and catch when the guys are open. Those are things we haven't been doing. So.
But I think it's important. I think it's really important to get TVD going early. I think we have to kind of get his confidence up again. So, do we want to do predictions on points? I hate doing that.
Given my track record in the last few, let's just pass.
Yes.
No good will come of that.
Yes. No point predictions. I hate doing that crap. We're not going to do it ever again. How about that? We're never going to do it.
Sounds good to me. I'm off.
You can do it on your own, Vish. I'm not asking you for a prediction. Okay, for a point prediction. Thanks for everybody that joined the show. Gary, Kyle, even Mark and U-Town. I know U-Town was on here for a little while, and all the rest of the guys that were on here.
Yeah, I think Mark made it back. I think U-Town did not. Yep. You can blame Dono for that.
I
don't know what came through on the live feed, if the part we said oops came through or not over the YouTube stream. But we all heard it, then we were like, what? Oops, what? Oh, you killed the stream.
Jay, the rest of the crew, Gary, of course, thanks for joining us on the show. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter at Six Rings Canes. We will have a pre and a post game show for the UNC game. And as you see the scrolling down here, we didn't mention it, but please support the victims of Hurricane Ian by donating to the links in the description. Just go ahead and go into the links, click on those links, and donate directly to them. We've got the Harry Chapin food bank. We also have the Friends in Service Here, which is FISH is the acronym for it. Friends in Service Here is another food bank as well, and Valerie's House, which helps underprivileged children, correct? And Vish?
Yeah, it's specifically children getting through traumatic experiences.
I
love it. I love it.
I love it, baby.
Even if I don't agree with you, I love it, man. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, man.
We appreciate it. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. All love, baby. All love for the Canes fan. We're just gonna bust your balls right back. All right.
Yeah. Speaking of trauma, let's hope we don't have any this weekend. But yeah, no,
look, Gus just texted me that the show cut off early.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Yeah, but we started a new stream. Oh, man.
Thanks for joining both parts, everybody. We appreciate it.
I'm surprised this many people made it over, frankly.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm going to tell him it's Donald's fault. Dono, it's your fault, man.
He knows. He knows
it now. But all love for Dono as well. Thanks for Alex Dono joining us on the first part of this of the UNC preview show here on the Six Rings.
Dono decided, if he had to leave, we all had to leave. So
yeah. That was awesome. Again, pre and post game shows, whether it's myself and Vish, because we will be at the game. We are we're doing something early in the morning, which is stupid, but whatever. We're doing it anyways. We're running.
Just know I'm jealous of both of you. So there you go.
Don't be so jealous of waking up really early and having to go run a 5K or a 10K. Okay, that's not fun.
You guys are taking running for granted. That's all I'm saying. That's all
I
I'm
was about to
saying.
say, Jazz. I'm always able to say that too. Come on,
I
man.
know. You know what? Yeah, I get it, but I'm with you. But Jesus, man.
Yeah.
I did
It's
too
time
much
to
of
end
it.
the show now.
I get too much of it in college. That's all. Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know, Gary. We're trying to put something big together. We'll let you guys know. Again, make sure you check us out every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. Pre and post game shows as well. Maybe DJ and Blue can do something. Vish and myself will be at the game as well. I don't know how much of a pregame we'll get, but we'll get one.
Post game.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So make sure you keep it locked on Twitter at Six Rings Canes for some live tweeting as well during the game, and we'll make sure we keep you guys informed on the latest stuff that's going on as well with Hurricanes football. Vish, DJ, thank you guys for joining. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor of the night as well, and that's Manscaped. Let's give them a shout out really quick. By the way, summer is over, but that doesn't mean you can't get your balls looking nice and
Look, man, it's
All
Miami, so summer's year round. So you still gotta clean up down there.
you still gotta have the
Not up here in
assets.
Massachusetts. It's cold.
It's already cold up there. That's right. It still doesn't matter, right? Like, when you shave and you get the goosebumps and all that stuff and the hair starts coming out again, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to go, man. And that's what Manscaped helps you do. Make sure you check them out on manscaped.com. When you do sign up and order anything, make sure you put in the code 5RSN. That's the number 5 and the letters RSN in the code, and it'll give you 20% off of your purchase. Plus, it'll give you free shipping as well. So make sure you go put in the code 5RSN when you log into manscaped.com. You've got things like what's it called? The lawnmower, the lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah, 4.0 is right.
You got the trimmers. You've got the weed whacker. Okay, you've got the weed whacker, which is for your ears and your nose. You've got the lawn, like as I mentioned, lawnmower 4.0. It's a fourth generation trimmer. It also features cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce your grooming accidents as well. And as I mentioned,
accidents there. So
what you want to do is you want to get that performance package. That's the one I got. It gets you the weed whacker. It gets you the lawnmower. It also gives you the crop preserver and the ball deodorant. Right? It's all really good stuff. I know. I use it. It's great. By the way, that 4.0 with a little light as well. I'm telling you, it's clutch. All right, I'm just gonna leave it there. But they also give you some nice boxers, man. The ladies will love that when you wear it. So make sure you wear your boxers as well. After
don't be invested in the trimmer and you clean everything up down there and you put on a ratty old pair of boxers. So you gotta complete the ensemble there.
Make sure you guys log in, and when you purchase it, manscaped.com, code word is 5RSN for 20% off plus free shipping on your order. Manscaped.com. Check them out. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all.
We appreciate you all joining us on the show for part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, especially the ones that somehow made it back over here, man.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate that.
Gus, Gus is funny though. He was laughing about it. He's like, "What happened to did the feed get cut off early?" Oh man, I'm sure some other people that were watching it did that too. So. Never ceases to surprise us here on the Six Rings King
Never
show.
A dull day here.
But rest assured, regardless of what happens on Saturday, I will update you guys on Fat Bear Week next week.
Oh Jesus!
So we're gonna keep that up. It is actually just a week, so we're not gonna keep it up. But it's Fat Bear Week. So more seriously, we definitely have a, I would say, decent shot at winning on Saturday. So let's see what we're made of here.
I would say so myself. All right, fellas. We'll see you guys this weekend. UNC Miami. Let's go. Go Canes. See you guys later.
Go Canes.